Well, hello and welcome to the EnglishAnyone.com Power Learning Podcast. I'm Drew Badger, author, English-speaking confidence expert, and co-founder of EnglishAnyone.com, and it's a pleasure to have you with me today. For today's episode, I've got something very excited, and I'm really honored to have our 4 winners from the Master English Conversation Scholarship. And today I want to have a bit of a comparison between how they were when they were first applying for the program and how they are today, 6 months later with their new recordings. Each one of them has made progress in their own way, some with pronunciation, others with using vocabulary words, and since maybe you're not a member of Master English Conversation, it might be a little bit difficult for you to know what words and phrases they're using from the program, but for being their teacher, I really couldn't have picked 4 better people to join this program. They've got different levels and they've got different strengths and different weaknesses for language learning, but they're all doing a fantastic job and improving in their own way. So in today's episode, we will listen to each one of the 4 winners, how they sounded when they first started and how they sound now, and then we will come back after that and I will give the tip for this month so that you and they and everyone else listening out there can continue to improve and build their English-speaking confidence and fluency. So let's begin with Ing. I'm really excited about her progress. Every month she always has a really keen sense for new phrases and she uses them perfectly in new sentences. It's always great to hear something that you teach as a teacher and then you see somebody actually use it. It doesn't matter what you teach. You could be teaching someone how to ride a bike or how to do business or any kind of thing like that. But when a student takes action and actually uses what they learn, that's the most fulfilling thing, the most exciting thing about being a teacher. If I didn't have students all over the world that were actually making progress, I really couldn't do what I do. I don't teach for myself, even though I really enjoy teaching. It's more about seeing what people actually do with the information. So I'm so excited for Ying, and we'll get to listen to her for a little bit. We'll play first her recording of how she was when she was applying for the program, and then you'll see how things are a little bit different now. Listen carefully.
I have been studying English for 6 years. In the former time, I just learned English because it's one of the school subjects and I really want to pass the exam. So I tried to master grammar by using a grammar textbook.
Hello, my name is In and I'm a student of Master English Conversation. Thanks to this month's lesson, I learned a lot of complicated phrases that turned basic English into interesting, complex sentences, and I really like this English fluency bits. I also learned a lot of fluency training strategies that help my brain think and react in English. But for me, the most effective training technique is to watch a movie and then pretend to be a character in that movie. I listen to their line carefully and then say their line out loud, or just say them in my head. Now I'm able to think in English automatically. The time I was thinking to myself and then all of a sudden I realized I was thinking in English. And I was really happy and felt excited about this. I also tried to make an in or beginning a conversation. I don't have much opportunity to meet native speakers. I can only meet my native English teacher in my class. So in a speaking test, before he asked me questions, I tried to say an opener. Then I realized he was wearing a new shirt with tie. Then I said, I noticed you have a new shirt. It makes you look more manly. He told me that my school had a new rule that teachers have to wear shirt with tie, and that's why he had to wear like that. But anyway, I can make the argument that he was very happy and satisfied about my compliment. Then our conversation was much more comfortable and friendly than just a mere test. Alright, Thank you for listening. Bye.
Next up is Bhaskar. I'm so proud of his progress as well. He's a really, really diligent student. He works very hard and he cares about the program and his progress very much. He takes what I teach in the program and then he's sure to apply it and actually take action. His English was already quite good, but now we're kind of moving him into being a little bit more casual. There's a certain kind of educated English learner English, and he is now kind of transitioning more into native speaker kind of English. So he's speaking a bit more casually and a bit more excited when he actually speaks because he's using more kind of native English and not trying to use the kind of difficult words that you would see in a textbook. Remember, these words are correct, but the way that you sound in a textbook is much different than the way you sound when you're actually speaking with native speakers in a conversation. So we understand those words, but there's just kind of something robotic about them. So listen carefully to Bhaskar's transition as well. You'll notice some great using more words, being a bit more confident with the way he speaks, and I'm really excited to have him continue to improve by working on his pronunciation when he goes into the future. Here you go.
I thought of a couple of issues, but I decided to tell about this particular one, because this incident has a lot to tell or to speak. Hi everyone, I'm glad to be here again to tell you how my practice is going on and what the good stuff, the brand new stuff I got from this month's lesson set. I hope you guys are all doing fantastic. You know, it's kinda incredible thing happened to me getting this scholarship for this program, and I have finished 6 months of this course and 6 months to go. In this 6 months period, besides the monthly stuff, I studied some previous lesson sets also, and now for a 6-month period of learning, kinda intense learning, I got to this stage. Okay, when it comes to July month's lesson set, out on the town, the first one is grammar focus lesson, telling about the relative clauses. Next one is phrase builder lesson. It helped me to learn a bunch of good phrases. If we add them to our conversation, we sound kinda intelligent. Actually, while I was studying this phrase builder lesson, one phrase from this lesson reminded me of another phrase that I heard last month while watching sitcom. The phrase I learned from this lesson is I make the case that. We can use this phrase when we present our opinion with some evidence. For example, I can make the case that we have many resources on the internet to learn English nowadays when compared with other languages. Actually, the phrase I remembered was that I heard while watching Seinfeld. That was I rest my case. This means I close my case. I finish my case. I submit all the evidence to prove my case, like that. It was told when George finished his argument with Jerry with some evidence. Actually, it's kinda a connection between learning things. If we make this connection between new stuff while learning, we can remember forever what we have learned. I'm coming back. The next lesson from this month's lesson set is Fluency Corner lesson on how we can make ourselves think in English. The next big thing is Master Conversation. Actually, this month's Master Conversation is a brand new one. It's not the routine one, kinda different and difficult. But I know Drew made this lesson on a purpose to kinda expose us to real conversation. Let's say I get a job in US. Let me take this dream to some extent. I get a job in New York, big city, Big Apple, in a big company. I join there. After a few days, some colleagues invite me to a party at a bar. I go there. We all sit at a table. They're all in kinda informal talking in a noisy environment. I cannot be able to follow their conversation, so I can't play active role in their conversation. I remain silent the entire party. It's not a good thing. It's a kind of situation that we never want to be in. When we go to an English speaking country, these kind of things are hurdles and take us back from mingling at a party. Considering these situations, Drew made this lesson. It's definitely a difficult one for English learners like me, with a real conversation between four native speakers and the background noise. But this is the real situation when we go out in an English speaking country. Actually, it did take more time for me to master it, but it's a real one. We ought to spend some time for this kind of talk. Movies and sitcoms are best things to get used to this kind of dialect. The final lesson is question everything. This is the thing. If we master the four lessons, we can really answer questions and it will help us to improve our conversation, even though we have no one to talk around us. The next thing is special mission homework assignment. Actually, this month's assignment is really a simple one that we do in our daily life. For this task, Drew had us practice openness, a lot of openness with new people until we find a common thing that we both are interested in to take our conversation to the next level. And the second one in this assignment is to give some compliments, appreciating the good things that we see in other person. If we are not self-involved, we can easily see some good things in every person. Once we see a good thing in other person, there is no need to keep it to ourselves. If we give compliments to them, they really appreciate us and they think we are kinda attentive to them. It will make our relationship a bit stronger, from a superficial level to some deep. As it's a routine one, I just keep continuing the same while I am online and in person, but in person, not in English. That's it. Thank you guys for listening to this talk. Bye bye.
Okay, next is the lovely Yaroslava. I'm so excited about her. Oh, Yaroslava, you're doing such a fantastic job. When she first applied, I remember she was quite nervous, and I would be too. This is kind of a tricky thing. Her English was probably the weakest, her spoken English anyway, of the four winners of the Master English Conversation Scholarship, and I'm really, really excited to see how much she's changed in just 6 months. Not only the words that she's using, and even though she's still not a fantastic speaker yet, she's doing such a great job, and her confidence it's almost dramatic. All the amazing difference that I've seen in the way she speaks from when she first applied to the program versus now. And I can't wait to see what she will look like in another 6 months. All right, here's Yaroslava.
Hello, how are you? I am fine, thank you. Today is sunny. Yesterday was snowy. Do you like winter? I like winter very much. I and my husband love cross-country skiing, but our sons don't like it. They like downhill skiing. Hey, hello. This month I wanna tell you about my English triggers. First, I changed the language on my phone and my computer. When I tried to think in English, my mind was clear and empty. Even though it's fantastic for meditation, I wanna be English speaker and I have to think in English. I have a big ring making me think in English. It's magic ring with picture flag Great Britain. A friend of my son Martin bought it in London for me. When I wearing this ring, I have to think in English. Mike, who is my younger son, let me sleep on his pillow. The pillow with picture Engine Thomas, which is very famous British children's story, is magic too. Every night I wish Thomas arrived me dreams in English. When it comes to my English fluency space, it was very hard work. I went shopping something British or American, but I didn't buy anything. Be that as it may, I have fantastic English space. My children let me use their toys for decorating. As opposed to superhero, I prefer Bob the Builder, which is other British children's story. I see you my English space, but don't laugh me, please. If you laugh me, I won't tell you anything next month. I wish I had my English space with my favorite British story, Harry Potter. I am on a Harry Potter kick, but we have only Gringotts Wizarding Bank. I hope I understand all movies Harry Potter soon, so I am studying English every day. Whereas most people study English very hard, I prefer magic way. Now I have 4 magic things. Today I told you about first and second, my magic ring and pillow. Next is, do you remember my goldfish? I use them for speaking. Last, guess please, would you tell me what my last magic thing is? You have it too, it's easy. It's Master English Conversation 2.0. In terms of special measure homework assignment this month, I try to open a lot of conversation on YouTube and Facebook when I was home for work. July and August are holidays for my children, so we spent 2 months at my mother's house in small village without internet. In September, when my children go to school, we will at home, that is in town, still connected to the internet. About masterclass, it was very hardcore for me, but I am really happy for this experience.
And our last scholarship winner is Carlos. Oh, Carlos. I love your name. Again, that's a Spanish thing. I love that pronunciation. So I'm so proud of his progress. He's really thinking a lot about his English, and you can feel that he's thinking less in his own language and thinking more in English when he's actually speaking. So Carlos, I'm so proud of you. Continue to relax and let go when you speak. Even if you want to express something and it's a more complicated way, I really want you to take the time to relax and not worry about, how you have to say it, even if it could be a complicated thing, because I can see that he really wants to express himself and say things that are a little bit more difficult because he really has interesting ideas that he wants to say. So listen carefully to how he was 6 months ago and compare it to how he is now. Here you go.
Learning a new language is very, very hard. It's tough. It's something that can be frustrating sometimes.
Hey guys, Carlos from El Salvador. Today I want to tell you something about this month on Master English Conversation that was very important for me. I learned many things and also many phrases. And I can tell you guys that EnglishAnyone.com is really the real thing. You can find many information, much information on this site, really helpful for you. So the first one, which I was very not that related to, but I have learned something before. But the thing is that Drew make it very clearly and simple for us. So what I've learned about the relative clauses is that we have many things to do it actually, and we have the regular way and the written way. So that is very important that we make some sentences, because they become a part of our speaking, and with that part we can improve it. So the secondly, I learned about phrases. The phrase builder is very important for me, and pronunciation also. Many phrases that to tell the truth, I have heard about this phrase when it comes to, but I didn't really understand how to use it. And I have to tell the truth, when Drew explained to us the phrase, it was very easy to understand for me. I have to tell, I must admit it. It was very clear. It was much easier than other sites. So the fluency corner lesson, for me, the fluency corner lesson, what I've learned, is very important, because we have to make our own plan of visualize the things in English. Everything around us have to be in the thing that we have to learn much easier, because we have to put our cell phones on English and watch many programs in English, TV shows also, and that is important. And in that order we get fluency much faster. And about the Master English class, I was really this particular time was really interesting, because we have many accents and dialects too. To tell the truth, I couldn't understand without reading the script. It wasn't a script really. It was like a normal conversation that they were having, like friends and friends of Drew, and it was really difficult. But I can tell you that is the real English, and the real English is like that. No professor, no classes, is that the real English. And we have to be encouraged to at least understand, not at all, but get the main idea. For my homework assignment, that was pretty much easy online, because online is kind of easy to say hey, hello, or tell people hey, practice, or something like that. But in the real world, it is much more difficult, believe me. I went to some malls and talked to people in a proper way, not rude, but good, but in a good way. And their answers, there were two. So there were two good for me, because I was thinking about ask people about many things, but I just said, hey, I want you to tell me where is this place or where that place, and they respond me, and it's kind of difficult to find people here in El Salvador that speak English, but I did it, and it worked and it turned out well. So thanks for listening, and it's kind of it's raining here in that is all for this month. Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to all 4 of the Master English Conversation Scholarship winners. Again, they've just finished month 6 of the program, so they're halfway done, and they have the whole rest of the year, so another 6 months on the program to continue to focus on things that are more specific to each of them as an individual learner. Just like you listening out there, I want them also to kind of focus on their strengths and then, continue to use those to start building their confidence. And as you build your speaking confidence by using your English in real situations, it could be online or people at work or talking with people in chat rooms or actual conversations, however you practice and meet with native speakers. If you use your strengths, again, like me, it could be sports, and then I play sports to start meeting more people. That's using my strength in order to get into English more, and then I can start focusing on my weaknesses a little bit more. So let's say for me, remembering some things might be a weakness, or for not being able to pronounce something might be a weakness, but I have a lot of confidence for meeting new people. So I can get into a conversation easily, and then I can use that strength to help build up all of the weaknesses. But you want to begin with your strengths. So for all of them, they'll kind of listen to those, and they'll hear what they're improving and what they need to work on. And each person kind of knows that. Think about what's easy for you to do. Think about what comes naturally, what you don't need to work at so hard. You can kind of look at someone like Michael Jordan and think, wow, like he really was able to play basketball very, very well. And granted, he practiced a lot, but when you looked at when he retired in the 1990s and he tried playing baseball, it was a completely different situation. He was out of his element. This expression, out of his element, means that he was doing something that he's not very good at. And trying to hit a major league fastball is one of the most difficult things to do in sports, because you're, looking at a ball that's coming at you incredibly quickly, and if you don't have years and years of practice doing that, with the ball getting faster and faster as you go through the levels of baseball, it's really difficult to do. So he was out of his element, but he focused on his strengths, and his strength was working really, really hard and not quitting. So he knew that even though he wasn't such a great baseball player, he would continue to work hard. He got to practice early. He would do batting practice a whole bunch and then have a regular game and then stop and do batting practice after the game, and he got better. So he used his strength to tackle and kind of overcome his weaknesses of lack of experience. So I want you to think about that for yourself, and for the 4 winners out there, really think about your strengths and how you can use your strengths to help your weaknesses. Just think about what comes easy for you, what's natural, what you don't really need to practice, but then work really hard at that thing, and then use that to help you get into more conversations, and then you can use those conversations to help you improve more when you're actually speaking with people. So specifically for improving, moving from the beginning of this year with the Master English Conversation Scholarship winners, we're going from more general ideas down to more specific ideas each time. We've covered things like using one sound to practice your English, using your hobbies and your interests to get more excited about a language and find a bridge or an idea or an action that can pull you into the language. We've talked about using individual fluency skills and working on those, focusing on grammar, thinking about the practice gap, which we talked about last month. And remember, the practice gap is trying to make practice as much like real life as possible, so that when you get out, you've already kind of trained yourself, you feel emotionally connected when you're speaking, you're excited, and that way when you get into real conversation situations, it's a lot more easy for you to relax and speak confidently. So this month, the final tip for month 6, I want you to focus on pronunciation. So we're finally into pronunciation now. We're getting halfway through the year. Now, I want you to work on pronunciation. And there are 2 basic things that you should do for that. The first is to overpronounce things, And the second thing is to work on blending your sounds. I see a lot of videos on YouTube that will teach you how to pronounce an individual word. But the problem with this method is that when you're in a native conversation, the pronunciation of a word will often change, and people pronounce it different ways, and they blend the sounds of that word together with other words. So this overpronouncing and using the blending of sounds is what I really want you to focus on this month. You're getting closer and closer to working towards fluency. So you've already thought about your grammar, you're really practicing that, and then you'll get into pronunciation this month. So what I'd like you to do is find something you're interested in. It could be a movie, a video, anything on YouTube or any other regular movie, and I want you to focus on one scene from that movie. So pick even just 1 minute or 10 seconds of one piece of dialogue. So dialogue is 2 people speaking or more, 2 or more people speaking to each other. So find one person and just watch that over and over and over again. Find something interesting that you can practice and really master that one phrase. What you're listening for, you should listen to the phrase many, many times. Stop whatever it is you're listening to, then overpronounce something. So let's say I'm watching a movie. The first thing I should do is I should watch a clip that's like, tomorrow I'm going to the store. Tomorrow I'm going to the store. What I want to do is stop after I've listened many times and then overpronounce the sounds. Tomorrow I'm going to the store. I really want to train my mouth. And again, you have to kind of take bigger motions, use the muscles, and really train them to make sounds when you're doing that in English for practicing pronunciation. Tomorrow I'm going to the store. And then go back and really listen that even though the tomorrow I'm going to the store is, the words are being said that way, or if you read it that way, tomorrow I'm going to the store, it's a bit easier to read it that way, but when you hear it said in a movie or some video clip, you'll hear tomorrow I'm going to the store. And it's a faster sounding thing, so after you've overpronounced it, go back and take your time with blending the sounds together. Tomorrow I'm going to the store. Tomorrow I'm going to the store. And it will be different for each thing, whatever you want to do, but try to find a movie or a song or anything that's got the lyrics or the transcript or the script, whatever that is, so you can read what you're practicing for that scene and find something you're interested in so you can improve your pronunciation. But overpronouncing and blending the sounds, those are the things that are going to train your ears and train your mouth so that you can really move and speak like a native English speaker. It's really the blending of sounds. That's the thing that's going to set you apart. It will make it so that you're not sounding like a foreign English learner and that you sound more like a native English speaker. So find something you like, listen very carefully, repeat what they say by overpronouncing it, and then try to go back and blend the sounds so that you sound just like the people that are speaking. Have fun with it, try to make some funny voices, speak with emotion, and really enjoy it, but really master what it is you're doing. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different for the Master English Conversation Scholarship winners. So they will not be in the Power Learning podcast next month and the few months after that, but I will bring all of them back and you can see how far they've come after another 6 months of practice. So I hope you enjoyed listening to them today. I wish fantastic luck to them. I will continue to work with them for the next 6 months, and you will see what you really can accomplish in a year if you practice and you have the right teacher, the right method, and you really go out and take action. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. We've got more videos. A brand new Master English Conversation lesson set is now available. I'm so excited. We're continuing to improve the program with great feedback from learners every month, and I look forward to hearing about your progress and your success stories as well. Have an excellent day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.